Good morning, year one. Welcome to your math lesson. Today we're learning to count to 50 by making tens. And our success criteria, so the things that we need to do to be successful, is to count on in ones from a given number, to count in tens, and represent a number by making tens. So let's start with our fast 5 questions. So we've got, firstly, how many counters? Then question 2, again, how many counters this time? Do we need to count them in ones, or is there another way we can count them? And number 3, how do you spell this number here? And number 4, each of these pictures, this one, this one, this one, and this one, are equal to what? All right, let's go through the answers. So question 1, how many counters? Well, we can see it's a full 10 frame, so there must be 10 counters. Question 2, now we've not just got one full 10 frame, we have 2 full 10 frames. So 2 tens, which is 20. 2 tens and 0 ones, 20. And there's that number again, but this time it was asking us how to spell it. So let's see if we got it right. 20. Did you get that? Excellent. And each of these pictures are equal to 10. They all represent 10. Okay. So the big question today, is this true or false? Stevie says, I have represented this number here. Can you tell me what that number is? That's right, 13. So Stevie says, I have represented 13. Is that true or false? Okay, if you're not sure yet, then just pause the video now to try and have a go at working it out. And if you've had a go, then let's see if you're right. It is false. Oops. False. Stevie has not represented 13. Now can you pause the video and have a go at explaining how you know that it's false that Stevie's represented 13. So pause here and have a go. Okay, so hopefully you've had a look at the number 13 and you know that in 13 there are how many tens? How many tens are there in 13? Can we split it into tens and ones? How many tens? That's right, there's 1 10 in 13 and then 3 ones. Now this does not show 1 10 and 3 ones, does it? What has Stevie represented here? Stevie has 1, 2, 3 tens. And how many ones? 0 ones. So Stevie has actually represented 30, not 13. She's got her teen numbers and her tens muddled up. She's represented 30 instead. Well done if you worked that one out too. Okay, so today's vocabulary, the main things we're going to be looking at is counting on, which as we know means starting from a number and counting up from there. So here's an example of counting on from 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, that's what counting on means. And represent is just a fancy word for show, basically. So if you have to represent something, it means to show it. Okay, so we're going to switch over now to some PowerPoint slides. Let me just stop sharing my screen and we'll find the slides. Okay. Right. So, as we said, we're now practicing counting, we're working with numbers to 50. So we've only so far really looked in lots of detail at numbers up to 20. Now we're going to branch out a bit more. So to be able to practice that skill, we're going to practice counting on from 20 to begin with. So how many does this show? 10, that's right. And how many does this show? 20. 2 10s are 20. And we know from practicing in school, and we know from practicing in our times tables lessons, that we know how to count in 10s all the way up to 100. So today is going to be a bit of using those skills, reminding ourselves of those skills, and a bit of counting on practice too. So we know that 2 10s is 20. Now, if we want to get to the next, if we want to count on from 20, let's use this number track here. Count along with me. So starting with 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So here we have 10 more straws. We can make another bundle. So 20 and 10 more is 30. Okay, let's practice counting on from 30 then. So first we have, how many is that? 10, 20, 30. And let's use this number track to help us count on from 30. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So we've added 10 more straws. So 30 and 10 more is 40. There's our other bundle of straws. Okay, now we're going to use a number track, a number 100 square, or a section of 100 square. So we've only got up to 50 on here. So let's count in ones this time. We're using what we would use in school as our deans. We've got some ones, some red ones. So count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got a little friend here. It says each row has 10. So each row in 100 square, or in a section of 100 square, has 10 in it, or 10 ones, which, as we know, 10 ones is equal to 110. Okay, let's keep counting. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So how many have we just counted? How many ones was that? 10 ones, because as we know, each row has 10 in it. So 10 ones, which is the same as 110. Okay, so now we're representing 20 with our deans. We've got 10, 20. Let's count on from 20 again. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. How many ones have we just counted in that row? 10 ones, which is the same as 110. So now we have, count with me in tens, 10, 20, 30. So 10 more than 20 is 30. Let's keep counting. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. How many ones have we just counted in that row? 10 ones, which is the same as 110. Now we have 40. Count them in tens with me again. 10, 20, 30, 40. Now I've got the last row, so we're counting on from 40. Oh, so our little tortoise friend here is saying all of the numbers at the end of the row have a 0. Did you notice that too? Let's keep counting on from 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So let's put those 10 ones together to make 110. And now we have 50. Let's count them in tens again. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So we've counted all the way up to 50 in ones and in tens. Now the tortoise is saying, I can see patterns in the rows and columns. So we already spoke about that row that's highlighted here, the row at the end where the tortoise told us that all of these numbers have 0 in that column. So can you see any other patterns? What other patterns can you see then? Pause here to have a think. Okay, so let's see if you were correct with your pattern spotting. So if we look down each column, remember columns go down, rows go across. So looking down each column, if we look at the ones, then they are the same in each column, aren't they? So for example, in this column here, how many ones are in 7? 7 ones. How many ones are in 17? 7. How many ones are in 27? 7. How many ones in 37? 7. And how many ones in 47? That's right, 7. So when we look down the columns in 100 square, the ones are the same. What about the tens? What happens with the tens in each column as we look down? If you haven't already worked this one out, then pause now to have a think about this one. Okay, and so if we look at the tens, how many tens are in 7? 0 tens, that's right. How many tens are in 17? 1 10. How many tens are in 27? 2 tens. How many tens are in 37? 3 tens. How many tens are in 47? 4 tens. So what's happening to the tens in each number as we move down the 100 square? That's right, they are going up by 1 or by 110 each time. So the tens go up by 1 and then the ones stay the same in each column. Now, if we look at the rows going across, so if we look across this row to start us off with, can you see anything that stays the same? That's right, the tens stay the same. So we have 110 in 11, 110 in 12, 110 in 13, 110 in 14, 110 in 15, 110 in 16. How many tens in 17? That's right, 1. How many tens in 18? 110. How many tens in 19? 110. But then when we get to the end of each row, that's when the tens change. So the tens go up by 1 when we get to the very end. But other than that, along each row, the tens stay the same. So this row, there are 2 tens in all of these numbers up until we get to the end. In this row, there's 3 tens all the way across until we get to 40. This row, there's 4 tens all the way across until we get to 50. And of course, in the first row, there's no tens until we get to 10. So the tens stay the same apart from the last number where it goes up to the next 10. But the ones go up by 1 each time. 1 1, 2 ones, 3 ones, 4 ones, 5 ones. Okay, so it's almost the opposite to the columns. So in the rows, the tens stay the same apart from the last number, and the ones go up by 1 each time apart from the last number. Okay, so that's just familiarising ourselves a bit more with the 100 square, because we're going to be using those a lot more in our maths now. Up until now, we've been using the number line quite a lot, which we will still use, but now that the numbers are getting bigger and we're using bigger numbers, we'll be using 100 square a lot more. Okay, so now it's your turn to have a go at some activities. I know that lots of you have had a practice yesterday at using Teams for quizzes and assignments. So now you can go over to Teams and have a look. There will be a maths assignment there for you to have a go at. Hopefully it's lots of fun, and I look forward to reading through how you got on. Right, bye everybody.